Out of all 50 states, some are very similar and some are complete opposites. When it comes to the major categories such as weather, cost of living, job market, etc., there are some key differences and similarities between most states. We're comparing Arizona to Pennsylvania to find out which state is best for you. Hi there, I'm Corey Benhart, your Pennsylvania realtor. I specialize in helping people just like you make the move to the southeastern part of Pennsylvania to find their perfect home. All of my contact information is below. I've had the pleasure of helping a good amount of people move from Arizona to Pennsylvania. Besides their obvious difference in the geographic location, these two states are vastly different with a couple of similarities, so let's get into it. Let's start with the very obvious. The weather. Pennsylvania has all 4 seasons, including the spring, the hot and humid summers, the chilly fall season, and of course, the very cold and sometimes snowy winter. Pennsylvania weather can be pretty odd sometimes. We've gone years without snow, we've had spring that feels like winter, and sometimes we get random 50 to 70 degree days in the middle of winter. But the average winter temperatures range from 25 to 40 degrees. During the summer here in PA, the heat is the complete opposite from the dry heat that you'll experience there in Arizona. It's not uncommon for summer temps to range from 70 to 90 degrees with humidity around 60 to 80%. Comparing that to Arizona, where the winter temperatures range from 50 to 70 degrees, and the intense Arizona summer heat can reach well over 100 degrees. In fact, just last year, Arizona set a record for having 128 days that reached over 100 degrees. So speaking of the weather, the next huge difference that we have to talk about are the outdoor activities that you get to enjoy in both of these states. Pennsylvania is a 4-season state, which means you get to experience all different types of outdoor activities as the seasons change in Pennsylvania. For example, you get to enjoy hiking, boating, swimming, and every other type of summer activity and water sport that you can even think of. In the winter, you of course can enjoy skiing, snowboarding, ice skating, ice fishing, etc. You definitely can't enjoy those wintertime activities there in Arizona unless you go up to northern Arizona. Other than northern Arizona, wintertime in Arizona is mostly made up of the summertime activities all year long. I have had a lot of clients who have moved from Arizona to Pennsylvania, and they've said how excited they are to experience all 4 seasons, but also being able to experience a summer that they can actually go outside and enjoy. So many of them have said that during those 3 to 4 months in the summer in Arizona, it's not even bearable to go outside unless you're in a swimming pool or you're going from your air-conditioned house to your air-conditioned car, back into an air-conditioned building, and so on and so forth. I personally always thought that at night, those desert temperatures dropped significantly, but from everything that I've heard from my Arizona clients, you could go for a walk after dinner and it could still be 90 to 100 degrees at 6, 7, or 8 o'clock at night, which is crazy. So now let's talk about the huge housing difference. Arizona homes look and are built a lot different than Pennsylvania homes. One of the reasons that they're built a lot differently is because of the climate. The housing materials in Arizona need to withstand intense heat and sunshine due to the desert climate, so they're likely built with materials such as concrete, stucco, and tile. Most of the roofs in Arizona are clay tile roofs, which are perfect for dry atmospheres. Those clay tile roofs are made specifically to withstand very intense heat for long periods of time. And truthfully, I think those are really the only roofing material that won't melt. Another big housing difference within these two states are the different levels that a home might be. For example, a single level, single story home in Arizona is very common because it's a lot more cost effective to air condition a single level home in the summer when it's 100+ degrees, as opposed to trying to air condition 2 or 3 different floors. Another big difference when it comes to homes are the basements. Truthfully, in Pennsylvania, it's almost about harder to find a home without a basement than a home with one. And that's the complete opposite in Arizona. Since the desert landscape is so hard and rocky, it's pretty costly for builders to dig basements. So basements are not very common unless you're looking for a pretty luxurious home in Arizona. Homeowners in Pennsylvania use their basements for just about everything that you can imagine, everything from a home theater to a gym to a kid's playroom to just overall additional living space or just general storage. Basements are great to play and work and live in. Basements are great to use in the Pennsylvania winters when we can't really go outside as much as we could in the warmer months. Another major difference when it comes to these two different states is the education system. Taking a look here at the overall rankings of all 50 states when it comes to the public school system, Pennsylvania is rated the 9th best in the country, followed by Arizona in the last place with the 50th best overall. The biggest difference when we compare education between these two states is not just the public school system, but also when it comes to universities and colleges that are located in both of these states. When it comes to top rated colleges and universities in Arizona, the only one that really comes to mind is ASU. Pennsylvania happens to be one of the most popular states that have the most highly rated colleges and universities. Just a couple of those highly rated schools that are located here in PA are Penn State, the University of Pennsylvania, also known as Penn, which is an Ivy League school, Drexel University, Villanova, Carnegie Mellon, the Wharton School of Business, and so many more. If you have college-age kids, or if you're just looking out into the future, keep in mind that if you live in Pennsylvania, in-state tuition is much more affordable than if you were to pay out-of-state tuition. Now for the job market comparison between Arizona and Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is very strong in industries such as manufacturing, healthcare, and education. PA is home to 23 Fortune 500 companies such as Comcast, Rite Aid, Dick's Sporting Goods, Hershey, Toll Brothers, etc. The two largest cities in Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, have just about every type of job market and job industry that you can really think of. So if you're looking for a job outside of those major, most popular industries, it's very likely that you can still find a job in whatever other industry that you're looking for. Arizona also has a very diverse job market with their strongest opportunities in fields like healthcare, finance, aerospace, and technology. Ever since California started their mass exodus, Arizona has seen a lot of business growth with some of the most popular businesses in the world moving their headquarters to Arizona from California. Just a couple of those companies are Apple, Google, ZipRecruiter, and Stitch Fix. When it comes to job market, Pennsylvania has a pretty slow and steady growth looking back over the last decade or so compared to Arizona, which has grown tremendously over the past 3 to 5 years. But when it comes to Arizona, we don't know if that big boom will continue or if it will start to plateau. The next major difference that we're going to talk about are the taxes. Both Pennsylvania and Arizona are flat rate income tax states, which is actually pretty rare. There's only about a handful of flat rate income tax states, meaning that if you're a resident of either of these two states, no matter how much you make, everyone in the state gets taxed at the same percentage instead of a fluctuating rate depending on how much you make, just like most other states have. Pennsylvania has a flat rate tax of 3.07% and Arizona has a flat rate tax of 2.5%. Arizona has a sales tax of 5.6% and Pennsylvania has an overall sales tax of 6%. When it comes to property taxes, Arizona also has a 0.51% property tax compared to Pennsylvania at 1.53%. It looks to be that Arizona is much more favorable when it comes to taxes, but when it comes to the overall cost of living, Arizona does seem to be quite significantly higher. Just for example, let's take a look at the average price of a home in each of these states. Starting with Arizona, the average sales price of a home is $418,836 compared to the average price of a home in Pennsylvania, which is only $254,152. So quite a significant difference in the average cost of a home between both of these states. So is moving to Pennsylvania from Arizona worth it for you? If so, I would love to help you find your perfect home here. All of my contact information is below. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you over on this next video.